yourself and Eddie at the end of the press conference saw sort of going back and forth. Well, he's here now.
Eddie's here.
Eddie thought that I knew about it.
Well, no, because
also he thought that it was something else. You didn't think it was an egg.
No, I thought it was a glass. Yeah. First of all, whatever it was, he's hit Connor in the eye with something. What I was angry about is because I don't believe everything that Eubank does is premeditated.
I agree with that.
He didn't go into the kitchen this morning, get an egg out of the fridge, not tell anyone what he was going to do, and just turn up at a restaurant.
Just on that, I've just said, when that's done by press conference happened, I said to him, tell me what you're going to say. I wasn't asking what he's going to do. He wouldn't tell me anything that he's going to say. Did I expect that? No. Should he have done it? No, probably not. But I don't think it was as bad as we first saw it.
Eddie, do you think Connor's going to retaliate at the next press?
Oh yeah, it's on site now. I mean, if anyone here sees Nigel Benn tonight, avoid him.
Especially me.
You're done for. Don't approach Nigel Benn tonight, because this is what we've got to think about on Thursday now. We've got to put provisions in place, because this is attack on site stuff. Connor's not gonna sleep on this and then go, oh, it's okay now. Yeah, don't worry about it, Chris. As soon as he sees Eubank, he's going to attack him. So it's our job now to make sure that we have the provisions in place to make sure that doesn't happen.
What were you both saying to each other? Because it looked like you were both being held back.
I said to him, because I'm still not convinced. I believe I said, if you knew about this, you're a dog. That's what I said. And he said, I didn't know anything about it. I have to take his word for that. But I don't believe the team didn't know about what they were going to do. And I just think hitting someone around the face, in the eye, with an object is not the thing to do. I can see a push, but to carry something up and hit someone around the face with it, for me, is a bitch move. And what happens now is the game changes. But the game is the game. And if you want to do that, you have to live with the consequences of that, and we have to put the provisions in place to make sure that we put a lid on it to make sure this doesn't get out of control. Because if they see each other now, the whole fight's off, because they're scrapping till the absolute end.
Do you think this would be the biggest build-up?
Wow, that was interesting. Eddie Hearn does not like Ben Shalom. He says later in the interview, he might have said it here, that they've been known to do this kind of thing before, and Eddie Hearn was just pretty upset. He's saying it's on site. That's what we say here in the States when someone has beef. Like, when I see you, it's on site, meaning just the minute you see me, just duck. And but they say here in the States it's on site, and that is definitely what's going to happen with this fight. And Eddie Hearn also said go check out the Nigel Benn Iran Barkley fight, and he said that's exactly what's going to happen in this fight. He said Conor Benn's ready to fight a nation. He said his dad's ready to fight a nation blindfolded. So he's saying they're ready to go, and it's like Eddie Hearn said, now they got to put stipulations in place to make sure nothing else happens leading up to the fight. The press conferences down the road, the weigh-ins, it's probably going to be like the Riddick Bowe, Jorge Luis Gonzalez fight, where they put that big plastic shield in between both heavyweights so they didn't rip each other's heads off before the fight. It's an interesting interview. Shout out to Seconds Out, Radio Raheem, everyone involved right there questioning Ben Shalom and Eddie Hearn. Eddie was talking to Ben Shalom like what's up? Like he was about to pop him or something. It was just a real interesting exchange, man. I'm really looking forward to this fight. And I noticed that Chris Eubank Jr. said in the press conference, I was wondering what the egg had to do with anything, but he said in the press conference, which showed that this was premeditated, because like I said, you're not just going to have an egg in your pocket. He said to Conor Benn, he said, how many eggs did you actually have to eat for you to, paraphrasing, test dirty? So that was a hint to let him know, I'm about to smack you with an egg at some point. So it's always good for boxers when they're this close for somebody kind of to be ready for something to jump off, because you never know when it is. Remember Lennox Lewis and Hasim Rahman, now they're friends, but back then they weren't. But it's going down, and I thought Eddie Hearn and Ben Shalom might get into it. Eddie Hearn's a lot bigger than Ben. Ben looked like he didn't want no parts of Mr. Hearn. But that was that was an interesting little exchange between the two. And excuse the foul language from Eddie Hearn. Clean up your language, Eddie. What's up? But that was kind of funny. That was almost as interesting as the press conference. I watched it. They were going back and forth, and there was a lot of interrupting. And Eddie Hearn got involved at the presser too. Go check that out if you haven't, and you'll see what led up to the egg slap. You heard Eddie Hearn say they hit him in the eye, and you don't want the fight postponed due to some injury. But that can happen, so security better be alert, They better be alert and ready for any and everything at these press conferences because dudes are heated. They had the rivalry with their dads, so now it's the sons, kind of like Donnie Creed and Victor Drago. Anyway, it's the J. Roos Theory. If you want to follow me on IG, it's the J. Roos Theory over there. If you wish to donate to the J. Roos Theory, the Cash App is $JRoos33. Backup platform and WJ, LSR forever, and be fearless. Yay.